Welcome back to the City Current Radio Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're honored to be with our next guest, Heather McCaskill. She is the Executive Director of One Ministries. How are you doing, Heather?
I'm doing great, Jeremy. Thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. So we get to dive into the world of mentoring and parenting. Before we cover all of that, though, give us a little bit of history lesson for One Ministries.
Sure. So One is actually almost 25 years old. We began in San Antonio, Texas in 1998, truly in response to the desire of local churches to meet the needs of young families.
And then talk about coming to Memphis and really now expanding across multiple locations.
That's right. So we came to Memphis almost 12 years ago, truly because Memphis was identified as a city that needs help. You might already know that Memphis has one of the highest infant mortality rates in the nation. Over 60% of women who give birth in Memphis and Shelby County are single moms. And over 80% of children who live in poverty in our area live with single moms. So we are seeing moms who are in great need of support, of parenting education, and someone to hold their hand and help them through.
And as I mentioned, it's parenting and it's mentoring, but obviously it's way more than that. So describe how the magic works.
Right, absolutely. So the way it all works is we are dependent on the local church and the faith community to come alongside what we are doing at One, because we are looking for women who have a heart to serve, a heart to pour into their community. Most of the mentors that serve with us are moms themselves. They don't have to be, but we are looking for women that we can match with a mom who says, hey, I was either not planning to become pregnant right now, or I'm just overwhelmed and I need someone to help me be a great parent. So there's kind of two pieces to the way it works at One. We're looking for women to serve as mentors. We're looking for the moms who are asking for the support of a mentor. And then we train the volunteers and we match those two together. And they start meeting together prenatally. And our mentors are committed to staying with moms at least until the child's first birthday.
So let's unpack it a little bit deeper and let's go on each side. Let's start with the mentors. Describe the training that goes in and the amount of time on the front end to prepare them to be a good mentor.
Sure. So all of our mentors are asked to submit an application. They have to go through a background check. And then once those two things both happen, the mentors attend One mentor training. And our training has been fully developed. All of our curriculum was developed by early childhood educators. It was reviewed by the Baylor School of Nursing. It's been reviewed, our evaluation's been reviewed by the Urban Child Institute and UT Health Sciences. So all of those things are in place because we want our mentors to be fully prepared to mentor that mom. So when they come to training, they're learning about early childhood development. They're learning about milestones. They're learning about health and safety. They are given lesson plans, things to review during each mentoring visit. They're teaching those moms activities that the child can do with their child, that the mom can do with their child to promote development and make sure the child is going to the doctor for well baby visits and those kinds of things. So our mentors are fully vetted and fully equipped to serve as a mentor. So that's the volunteering role. The mentors are also committed to staying with that mom for at least 18 months. On the other side of it is the moms. So moms are going to places like pregnancy centers. They're going to local other agencies, maybe Memphis Athletic Ministries or the Morning Center or Life Choices. They're trying to first of all, confirm that they are pregnant. And then if they are, they're trying to make a decision moving forward. And at One, we would tell that mom, we are here to support you so that you don't have to be a parent alone.
What has been some of the feedback on both sides? Because I mean, this is something that even just the training alone as a mentor is really powerful for your own family. So it's like you're learning this to be able to share with another young mother. At the same time, you're like, this is really good knowledge for us. So what's been the feedback on both sides for the volunteer and obviously for the mother?
Well, I'll say this, Jeremy, it really is interesting because our volunteers will often say, I went into this thinking I was going to help someone. And they say, I'm the one. I never knew these things. And I've had 3 children. And so the mentors are learning a lot about child development, about taking care of themselves, about giving themselves grace along the way. And they're seeing the moms in turn have a whole new outlook as the moms receive support, as they know that there is hope out there, that they know that they don't have to do it alone. I tell you, Jeremy, our moms come from all different backgrounds. We have moms who are haven't even finished high school yet. In fact, we just got an application for a mom who's 14 years old. We have other moms who have not only completed high school and gone to college, they have master's degrees. We even have a mom right now who's pursuing her doctorate, but she never planned to have a child. So she needed someone to come alongside and model that for her. But the majority of our moms are under-resourced. Definitely, most of them do not have the support of a spouse, and they are asking for someone to provide help for them. And that's what we do, and we love doing it at One by One.
What's the level of frequency on the interactions, and how does that take place on a regular basis?
Yeah, so our mentors are committing to meet with a mom at least once a month in person with weekly contact by phone or text. The unique part about One by One is that we will meet a mom where she is. So a mom doesn't have to come to us. We can come to her. We can meet her at a neutral meeting location. We've had meetings at libraries, at McDonald's, at city parks. We just want to be there and make it convenient for the mom. So that is how we go about arranging the meetings. But we want to have as much contact with that mom as we can, because we know that the greater the contact, the greater the impact that we can have on that mom's life.
I know that you've been a mentor yourself. What was that experience like on your end?
Oh, wow. When I had been working for One by One for 3 months, I was matched with my first mom. So I've now mentored 5 moms. They have all been very different. The first mom that I was ever matched with was actually in college, and her first year of college, and found herself facing an unplanned pregnancy. She had some family support, but what she didn't have was, this was a bump in the road. She needed her own person, and she really wasn't planning to be a parent at that time in her life. That was a great experience. We not only met for every prenatal visit, we made every visit after the baby was born. I got to go to the hospital. I got to go to the child's first birthday, and we truly have continued to be friends since then. Some of the other moms really had a different experience. I remember working with a mom who lived in one of the most underserved parts of our city. She was pregnant with her second child. Her husband had just been incarcerated. I mean, her boyfriend, it wasn't her husband. He had just been incarcerated, and she truly just felt helpless. And her testimony was, every time we met, she just kind of had the motivation. I can do this. It's not too much. There is someone to help me. And at One by One in Memphis, what we love to do is every time a mom meets with her mentor, we're able to provide her with a package of diapers. We have great friends in the community, people who are constantly blessing us with formula and diapers and things that we can share with moms, gently used baby equipment. And so we are always excited to pass those things off to our moms to help them.
And carry that forward in terms of how the community can help, because obviously the items being donated, financial contributions, how can the community help?
Sure. So all of those things, the community can help. First and foremost, we need women to serve as mentors. During the pandemic, we have not had as many women coming forward because people were safer at home, right? The beauty of what we did during the pandemic was we transitioned to online training. So now we can train any woman from anywhere as long as she has a computer and a webcam. We can train her to serve. We also did a lot of virtual visits during the pandemic because our moms still wanted to meet with their mentors. But we need more women to serve. So if anybody's interested in serving, we would love for them to look up One by One Ministries, go to our website and read all about us. In addition to people to serve as mentors, we are always in need of donations. We have some great agencies here in the city that in turn pass things off to us, but we need gently used baby equipment. We need new things, diapers and wipes and formula that we can bless our moms with. And then we are a ministry that's 100% funded by donations. So we are always looking for individuals in the community or companies that would like to give back. We are actually having a gala in September. We're currently looking for sponsors for that event, but that's a wonderful way to get lots of people in the community involved.
Talk a little bit more about the gala in terms of, what that looks like, what sort of help you need, obviously the financial sponsorships, but dive in a little bit deeper.
Sure. So at our event, it's really the highlight of our ministry here in Memphis. We are in areas outside of Memphis, but Memphis is where our central office is. It is where we do the most of our ministry. And so every year we have this benefit where we invite those in the community to come. We have about 14 sponsoring churches in the city. We invite all of them to come, and then we just want new people to come. We want them to see what's going on in the city through One by One and see how they can become a part of that. So it's a great event for us. You can also, anybody can get a ticket to that event on our website also if they're interested in attending and learning more about us. We will be sharing some videos that night. Right now we are working on those to share the stories of the impact that One by One is having on some of our moms. And one of our exciting ones this year is One by One has been completely translated into Spanish. All of our curriculum, all of our training. So we are right now working with Spanish-speaking mentors who can come alongside Spanish-speaking moms.
Yeah, that's awesome. We mentioned multiple locations, and you kind of alluded to that as well. 3 different states, Texas, Mississippi, and Tennessee, obviously. Talk about the different locations. It's nice on my end because my wife's from Corinth, Mississippi, so we have family there. Yes. So we have a lot of touch points, Dallas-Fort Worth area with Higginbotham and some of our efforts. So it's like there's a lot of cross-pollination in some really cool areas, but describe the multiple locations.
Sure. Well, I said we originally started in San Antonio. We went from there into Memphis and into Dallas. But what we saw was for about maybe since 5 years ago, people were coming to One by One. And usually it was a pregnancy center in another part of the country. And they would say, you know what, we are there, we are seeing women, we are helping them know that they do have a positive pregnancy test. But what's next after that? When a mom makes that decision to parent her child, what's next? And that's where One by One comes in with our fully developed mentoring program. So we started getting calls. Hey, do you have One by One in Pensacola, Florida? Do you have One by One, in this part of town? And so the board and I began talking through that. How could we begin to expand into other areas? And so 3 years ago, almost, we started what we call our community model, and we are now responding to needs in other areas. So we're excited now to be in Texas, West Tennessee, North Mississippi, had a request this week from Camden, Arkansas. So we are just kind of walking through those doors that are opening for us, and we're excited to continue to do that.
Absolutely. And it shows, like you said, there's a community model where you can take all of the things that you're learning, especially in the virtual environment that was forced by the pandemic, but it allows all of a sudden these new opportunities because you can take virtual training to then equip at the local level to build these relationships and these mentoring opportunities that really transform lives and yet bring the community together. And like you said, even with your relationship, they go beyond just that moment. These become lifelong friendships and relationships that carry forward. They can create generational change within those families. And I think when you step back and look at, okay, what's the larger context of this? I mean, obviously there's the faith aspect of this, building the kingdom, but there's also too the transformation of generations with these mothers who in many cases are coming from impoverished areas and under-resourced areas that now you're giving them a chance to have a really bright future based on these relationships that are pouring in. And I feel like that's the thing that especially the funders need to see, is that one relationship at a time, you're creating generational transformation.
That's exactly right. That truly is our hope. If a mom doesn't have hope, then she's absolutely hopeless, obviously. And that is when despair sets in. That is when moms are just overwhelmed. I think we can all say in our own lives, somebody speaking truth into our lives, somebody being a voice of hope in our lives makes all the difference in the world. And it truly is relationship oriented. And we always talk about that at One by One. Our job is to begin building a relationship, building trust with a mom so that we can impact her life today and for eternity. Something else you mentioned about the virtual model, the pandemic really did open our eyes at One by One to how we could have greater impact. We truly are testing out a bit of a virtual model right now, and not just virtually training our mentors, but could it be possible down the road to have a mom in this part of the country and a mentor in this part of the country and allow them to work together when otherwise they wouldn't be able to? So we're excited about those possibilities and just seeing that growth.
Absolutely. Wrap up with website, contact information. Where do we go to learn more?
Absolutely. Well, our website is www.onebyoneusa.org. On that website, you can see testimonies, you can hear our history, you can request to have a mentor. Any mom can go on our website. She doesn't have to be referred to us. She can self-refer. And then any volunteer who's interested. At One by One, we do work with moms, so we do only train women to serve as mentors, but they can go on our website and get all the information and apply there, Jeremy.
Well, Heather, thank you for all you and your amazing team do. Thank you for coming on the show.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeremy. Appreciate you.